Picture a shoreline at first light, salt in the air, and beneath it something you can't name. The smell of a place that has no word for you yet. Behind you, 11 ships rock in the shallows. Your way home. Your proof that this was only ever a visit. In front of you, an empire that has never heard your name and does not care to learn it. In 1519, Hernan Cortés landed at Veracruz with 500 men. They were tired, they were afraid, and already, in the quiet, they were measuring the distance back to the water. They had a way out. They had a plan B. Then the order came, not sharpen the swords, not scout the tree line, burn the ships. And as the timber caught and the sails turned to smoke, something ended that could not be undone. There was no home behind them now. There was the empire, or there was the grave, forward or nothing. Some of those men wept, some said nothing at all, but every one of them turned away from the water, because the water no longer offered them anything. This is not only history, it is one of the oldest blueprints we have for becoming someone new, because real conviction, the kind that survives the bad nights, almost never arrives while the way back is still open. Sometimes it only shows up in the smoke. Why do we fail at the things we say we want most? Usually not for lack of talent, for the back door. As long as there is a way out, no part of you ever fully arrives. Some piece of you stays near the exit, coat on, keys in hand. We call it caution. Most of the time, it is a rehearsal for quitting. This is why half effort feels so reasonable. A door left open lets the cold in. You believe you are protecting yourself, and all the while you are leaking the very heat you would need to finish the thing. A plan, B plan has a voice. It whispers on the hard nights, it's fine, you can always go back. But back is a country that no longer fits the person you are trying to become. Cortés was not reckless, he was precise. He understood something about us we would rather not admit, that the mind is built for survival, and survival prefers comfort to greatness every single time. So he changed the terms. With the ships gone, survival no longer meant escape, it meant winning. We keep our own ships docked, old habits, old comforts, the soft little what-ifs tied up safe in the harbor of the mind. Then we wonder why the new world stays on the horizon. It is simple, we never left the old one. Watch what the fire does to the men. The muttering stops. The talk of mutiny dies. The ones who were counting the days are counting something else now. What it will take to live. Somewhere in that crowd stood a man who had already planned his desertion, who knew which night he would slip away, which star he would steer by. The fire took that plan from him, and for the first time in weeks, he stopped looking over his shoulder and started looking ahead. In the light of those burning halls, 500 separate men stop being 500. They become one will, with nowhere left to spend itself but forward. There is an old and strange law to this. People are never stronger than when there is nothing left to protect. Take away the retreat, and the impossible quietly rewrites itself as the only plan you have. This is the cruel mercy of necessity. It never asks whether you feel ready. It simply removes every answer but the one that forces you to become more than you were the day before. So, be honest about your own life. Where are you still testing the water? Which dreams are you holding at arm's length, dipping a toe, calling it caution? You can stand at the edge forever. You will never learn the deep that way. You will only ever be a visitor in your own life, admiring a country you refuse to enter. Real belief is not found, it is paid for. The smoke of those ships did two things. It hid the ocean, and it cleared the future. Once the way back was gone, the way forward was the only thing left to look at. To stand where you want to stand, some older version of you has to be allowed to die. The one who is comfortable, the one who has made peace with almost. You cannot cross the distance between who you are and who you mean to be with one foot still on the shore. The fire is not the enemy. The fire is what burns off the excuse. It takes the maybe tomorrow, the someday, the I'll start Monday, and leaves only the want itself, raw and unshamed. And notice this, the fire does not hand you the belief, it only clears the ground where belief can finally stand. What grows there afterward? You build yourself, plank by plank, on the one shore you can no longer sail away from. So, name them. Where are your ships? The job that pays you in money and takes its rent in something harder to earn back. The person who left years ago and still lives behind your eyes. The quiet story that you are simply not one of the lucky ones. Find the match. Do not light it in anger. Light it the way someone does when they have finally stopped arguing with themselves. Calm, certain, almost relieved. The world remembers Cortés not for his mercy, he had little of it, but for his resolve. He is proof of a hard thing, that a person who closes their own exits by choice can do what should not have been possible. Cut off the retreat, and you start looking inward. You find rooms you did not know the house had, courage that was there all along, buried under the floorboards of the safety net. Something changes in the way you move. You stop hedging. The endless argument, should I stay, should I go, goes quiet. And into that silence comes one clean sentence. I have to win. You are no longer trying, you are doing, and there's a strange peace in it. Not the peace of comfort, the peace of a decision already made. Made so completely that it stops asking to be reconsidered. The peace of having no choice but to arrive. So, stand on the shore of your own life and look back at your ships one last time. Thank them. They carried you this far. That was their whole purpose. And then set them burning. Do not watch the smoke. The horizon was never behind you. There's only one direction left. Forward. Burn the ships.